Hello, this is Vinny here. Can you hear me and see my screen? If you can, please please type a 1 or maybe like press the love button, the like button so that I'll know. Thank you. How are you? Have you had your dinner yet? Thank you very much. I can see Dennis, Tian, Reno, Amanda, a lot of you guys responding already. Thank you very much. Let's get started. I love to do this kind of sessions because it allows me to, speak to you guys, share a little bit about my thoughts, understand from you what you are interested in, or even understand from you what you're looking at so that then, I can go and take a look at it later on. I just wanted to share with you my observation. In fact, that I was just back from Hokkaido just last week and just started working only. But when I was in Hokkaido, it's a trading day for me every day. I mean, I was just sharing with the students in the afternoon. It's dinner, then onsen. After that, look at the market, and I was like about to close my eyes, but yet the market is so interesting. Okay. And if you can, please spend some time to look at the disclaimer. Whatever that's being covered here would be educational only, for educational purpose. They are not financial advice. I'm not qualified to provide any financial advice, and it would be difficult for me if your questions requires me to give you advice. Okay, I will just try to answer from what I see in my charts, and that would be a little bit more non-biased for me. Okay, all right. So same thing, I would want to cover the stock market, the indexes and gold. And if you do have any questions, let me know what you want me to cover, what you want to talk about, what we want to discuss, and I cover them from the TED point of view. TED is a system that I developed myself. I've been using that for almost, I think, 20 plus years. But recently just decided to quote it and then to share it with my users. It's mainly to look at price levels, but using a very systematic and mathematical way, we can use it to identify, price trend, price level. But most important, the key thing about TED is it gives you the signals. Okay, that is really what I built. That means it has a screener function. You can screen thousands of stocks. And if you're not doing stocks, you're just trading, then you can set up the alerts. And ultimately, we will develop that into an automated trading system. And that would be something that's in the pipeline to come. But today, let's talk about, what's up with the market. How many of you are not from Singapore? Let me know where you are from. I always like to ask this question because I'm in Singapore and the bulk of my students are from Singapore, but it will be very, very interesting to know where you are from if you're not from Singapore. Okay, I'm still waiting for a lot more people to come in to join us. All right, if you have not seen me, and this is me, I don't really look any different from what I'm looking at right now, just that my hair is a little bit longer, a little bit more untidy, and I have a pimple at my left side of my face. And where do I get that pimple? I think too much rich food in Hokkaido. Sleep too late, and then rich food, and then the onsen doesn't help. It's just like soak my face inside. Okay, just to share with you a little bit on my trading. So at night, I will do the US market. In the afternoon. In the morning, I'll do the Singapore and the Hong Kong market. Then in between, I'll be looking at the FX, indices. And that means I'll be looking at a whole array of instruments that I'm trading. And these are usually the trading instruments, okay, that I'm doing. And today I thought that I just want to cover everything. So if you do have things that you want me to talk about, do let me know. All right. So I start my day very early, at about 6:20. Just now my son was still asking me, how do I manage my my daily activity? So now he's doing his exam, and then he's like very tired and he's so sleepy, and just now he went to nap, right? And you know, he couldn't get up, and he just asking me, how do I do it without even taking a nap in the afternoon? Well, I do take a nap in the afternoon, but on my chair for about 15 minutes, because I really cannot stand it if I don't close my eyes for a while. But then maybe you ask me, how do I look at so many different trades, etc.? Well, this is where I would like to share with you, because everywhere, every time, every moment, there's opportunity, and that's where you know, I like to get the signals so that I can evaluate that, and then we can, you know, use it to make money. Okay. Now, if you do like to follow me, you can just scan this, which is the Telegram, and I think Telegram will be a lot more better, because that's where I post my analysis. And I do produce YouTube, so if you can, you know, remember to follow me in YouTube. Press the like button so that more people knows about it, etc. Okay, do take a screenshot of this to follow me in Telegram, because I will post my trades up there or my analysis up there. Okay, let's I actually wanted to get started already, but then I didn't realize that I have so many things in the front part. Okay, so yes, I'm running courses. Yes, I'm building automated trading systems, automations, etc. And if you're interested, please join me. Okay. And I think that the strength of us is the coaching sessions every week. Some people make a comment to say that, oh yeah, your other competitors are also offering so many different webinars and coaching sessions, etc. It's different. These are done by myself and my team, right? And the methods is just different. Okay. But anyway, let's continue. Oh yeah, you see another one more. Okay, let's skip that. Okay, but if you're interested to take my free module, which is the Alien Wash, please scan this QR code. That's where, you know, you will get to know about this wash and rinse method. But this is not what I'm covering today. I'm doing another strategy, which is under Top Pro, which is under this one here. All right, and then that's the whole idea of having a optimal entry level, where we have the screener to scan out our trades, our stocks, etc. Okay, so let's quickly do that. Semicon. Anybody interested in Semicon? Because this is one sector that's been running very well, and Semicon is not only about Nvidia. All right. I believe that I covered one stock earlier, and that's AMD, because of a pattern. Okay. I think I covered that with my group, and I probably shared also the pattern here in one of my public session. But I just thought that today we take a look into the ETF to answer the question, are we at the end of the Semicon? Okay, so anybody looking at Semicon ETF? Okay, so these are the two ETF that I have, which I track myself, and I usually would want to have a look into the day as well as the week time frame. So I start off with this SMH, which is a semiconductor ETF here. Okay, now the lines that you see on my chart, these came from these are tag lines, TAT tag line, and I will not be able to explain what they mean, right? But I just wanted to go through from the weekly chart here. Okay, so this is the weekly chart, and if you have any questions, you can leave your questions at the comment section. Okay, now this is the weekly chart of SMH, which is the ETF on semiconductor. And the reason why I want to take a look at the weekly chart, because I wanted to know about the trend. Okay, and what I always emphasize is that, you know, if we do have an uptrend, for example, this is a low, this is a higher low, and this is the simplest way to know the trend, all right, then we do have a higher high here and then another higher high here, and this place becomes a higher low. Okay, now so if you do see this signal or this marker here, so this is a bullish signal. What it says is that at the place of this bullish signal, priced exited or priced it was out of this consolidation. Because if you observe that every time when something moves, it will go up, 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 and then it will consolidate, and then after that it will go up, 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 and then you will consolidate. Okay, so there was a consolidation here. Okay, that's the consolidation, and after that, somewhere around here, that's where price moved up, and it has been actually moving up for a period of time. The question is that whether this is the end of the semiconductor. Okay, now just have a little bit of a feedback here, or maybe a little bit of response from you guys. Do you think that there's still room for semicon to move up? What do you think? If you think that there's room for semicon to go up, please type a yes. And if you think that semicon is likely going to correct, please type a no. Okay, let me know your thoughts while I drink some water. Okay, now while I'm waiting for your response, just a little bit. Now, you realize that, oh yeah, okay, I can see that there's quite a lot of response from you guys to think that the semicon is likely to go up higher. That's also my thoughts, but I just wanted to offer this to you. What I like to do is to measure to know, right, if this was that higher high that's being made. Okay, you see that? So this was the starting point of the higher high. If I were to draw in the equidistance channel, where is that, what is this point here? Okay, it seems that this point, if I were to connect, technically, if I were to connect this one to this one here, it seems that we are near to the top of the equidistance channel. So this is one point here, okay? Now, the other point of view is if I were to consider that somewhere around here, there was a spike down, and to take care of this point, take care means that to shift my lines a little bit to sort of encompass this two low points here and start to shift a little bit to the highest point. So there are two ways to look at it, okay? One was that if I connect the highest to the highest like that, then it seems to suggest that right now it's at the top. So probably it might be at the resistance. Okay, so that's the first way to look at that. Now the second way is to consider these two low points here. Okay, that means that instead of drawing it this way, what I can draw is to draw it this way here, like that. Okay, and then push it up higher, so to get an answer, okay, to see whether price has broken out of this equidistance channel or it is still within. Okay, so you can see two different scenarios here, totally from different way of drawing. Okay, well, in a way I don't have the answer, but what I always like to do is I like to guess. That means that's to sort of guess, right, from the charts. Okay, now, so the few things is that if I were to take this weekly chart that I've drawn in the weekly chart and then go down to the daily chart, you see, and map it to key events. Okay, what was the recent key events? So when I was in Hokkaido, then one fine day, suddenly the market, bam, okay, moved down. It was like I slept already and I woke up and it moved down, right? So I was a little bit concerned, but when I checked the chart and the ETF on a lot of the semicon, I realized that, okay, fine. Yes, it's moved down, but overall, it is still an uptrend based on TED trend bar. That means that based on TED trend bar, it is still green, it is still uptrend, the trend hasn't changed yet. Okay, so that's number one. Now, number two is that if you do see the cluster of support here, okay, so these are the cluster of support here, right? I always say that if price closed below the cluster of support, which it did, okay, we wait for it, right, to go up and to let it test the support. Okay, well, now why is that so? Every time when you're about to, let's say, cross the bridge, and let's say this is a hanging bridge, and then you are not sure whether the bridge is sturdy or not. So what do? You test, okay? Either you step out one leg and the other leg on the ground, and then the other leg on the bridge, right? And test and step and test, right, to see whether the bridge is sturdy or not. Or the best is to send someone to cross the bridge first, all right, and you cross the second. All right, the whole idea is about price testing that level, which it sort of close above it, and never ever suggested that this whole horizontal level, which is about 328.22, was broken. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, right? If I were to draw the equidistance channel in this manner here, in fact, that very day when Trump threatened tariffs on China again, all right, it's just hit that equidistance low. So in other words, there was a break. That means there was a close, all right, above the high of the equidistance channel. Okay, and in fact, that there was a resistance here, and then price reacted to it, and then there was a little bit of a resistance again, and then you can see that this long bar here, price broke that resistance, which is the resistance of this equidistance channel high. And then when Trump talked about bad things, it just hit right back to that equidistance channel, giving us the support level. Okay, that means that I would think that it is being supported. Okay, I would think that this could be, that means that going back, right, this could be the right way to draw based on this semicon, I'd say only this semicon ETF, right? That it could be there was a breakout of this accelerated uptrend. Okay, so the other way to look at it is that if this breakout is true, that means the break up is true, then this breakout is a very, very energetic one. Okay, because it's very hard, right, for price to break above an upsloping resistance level. Okay, there must be a lot of energy, there must be a lot of momentum, there must be a lot of buying interest for price to break out of this upsloping line. Okay, assuming that the lines that I've drawn is correct. Okay, so this is assuming that, right? So in other words, I think that because of that down day, and that down day tested the equidistance channel high, I believe that it is supported here. Now, in other words, right, to say that semicon ETF, this semicon ETF, right, or generally semicon stocks might not be doing well, is when price break down again. Okay, because I've assumed that it is a correct breakout, and if price is to break down into, back into the equidistance channel, then this is not very good already. Okay, so for now, I would think that the semicon, based on this ETF, semicon is still very strong. Okay, so that is the first scenario here. Now, the second scenario was that I sort of tested the idea that what if we draw using this, like this, that means we connect the two highs, right? And then we answer the question, right, whether it is being broken. That means that we answer the question whether this way of drawing, whether price is being broken. Okay, it seems yes, it seems no, I'm not too sure. But let's say, for example, if one fine day you do find that there is a close above this recent high here, based on this ETF, all right, and that's about 349, 350. Let's say, what do I mean by a close above, right? Means that price actually close up above. Then I think that the semicon, based on indication from TED, based on the whole cluster of support level here, based on the break above, based on the equidistance channel, if price can trade and close and trade above 350, all right, then I think it will be a very, very strong sign or very strong signal for more bullishness in the semicon stocks. Okay, all right, any question here? Okay, all good. All right, so I mean, if I were to go to another semicon, which is this one here, it does gives this another ETF, huh? Just now I was doing an SMH, right? So this is SOXX, right? So it does give the same idea. All right, of course, it is so much better if you can buy at this optimal bull area, based on here, right? Of course, then you do capture this one, and then you buy when it is out of this consolidation. Okay, but I think the question would be whether if it is still in this equidistance channel like that, whether price has broken out. Okay, so this is another ETF, right? You see also, all right, that just let me just put it. Okay, you see also why at this point there was a doji in the weekly chart. So this was the doji in the weekly chart here. When I switch that, you see, that's why price gets a little bit of a sticky on top. Okay, so in a way that it is necessary for the semicon to continue to move up. It's coming into very tight cluster of support level. That means the whole section of support level is actually here. It's very tight already. So one way or another, all right, it should not close below the recent low that was created by Trump. Okay, so Trump made a comment, it moved down, and then the semicon ETF around here found a support, and it's sort of like it matched the support level by TED as well, right? So in other words, this is the key level here. It should not close below. For semicon to continue to go up, it needs to break above, all right? And even if there is a consolidation here, it's normal, all right, because it needs to have a consolidation in order to go higher. But what I'm trying to say here is that based on TED, it should not close below the low that was created by Trump. Okay, all right, all good. If all good, do you guys want to take a look at Nvidia or AMD? Okay, so I think that AMD was something that I mentioned earlier because of one pattern. This one here, because of this pattern here. So let me just talk about AMD. Okay, all right. Now, AMD I mentioned in my session, in my daily session, with the with my students, right? Okay, there's a few questions. So my analysis, is it for the long term or the short term? I don't think that I'm able to match my analysis for long term or short term. I think it's mostly for the short term and to say whether the trend will continue. Okay, because if you were to look at here, let's say on the day, right, it's apparently still at the uptrend here. So still at the uptrend, right? But this uptrend is a little bit more how to say having a very shallow correction. Okay, it's not like the previous trend like this where it has a deeper correction, so we are at the top here. So the question is that at the top, will it come back down a lot more, or will it come down a little bit and then it will go up? It all depends on whether this Trump created low level here, okay, this level here, right, whether it's broken. So if it's broken downwards, then yes, we are probably going to still maintain the uptrend, but we might see more correction. But if it's not broken, that means that if this level is true, then probably you're going to just have a little bit of a consolidation here and ultimately still continue to move down. Okay, I can't talk about whether we wait for it to retrace back before buying, etc. Because if you were to look at for us, all right, we follow a signal. Okay, so there was a signal to buy around here, and that was our entry. And I believe that there was signals to buy around here in the lower time frame, which I talk about also for some of the different stocks. So here we are still waiting for, this type of a signals to appear. So this is how we do, right? It's very, very rule based. If you look at our signals, all right, so we already predicted a zone of support level with 328.22 as being the ultimate support level that it shouldn't close below. Okay, I'll probably explain a little bit more of this one with AMD. So let me just go to AMD. Okay, so this is AMD here, and AMD, just to talk about it, was, if you take a look at the weekly chart, all right, this was our signal. Okay, so this was our signal to buy, and our signal was somewhere around here. Okay, I think that in my previous few sessions, I did mention, we need to look out for this kind of cup and a handle type of a pattern. So AMD actually formed this handle around here, and that was your cup. All right, that we had an earlier signal here, and after that it gapped up. Okay, now I'm not sure whether you guys checked the signal from yesterday. There was this one INST. What's the okay? Let me just show it to you later on in the scan. All right, I didn't manage to get that in because I missed that, but it gapped up, okay, after our signal. Okay, so there was a signal here. So if you take a look at this one, okay, so this is what we call a major D final retracement weekly level here. Okay, so this is the red color here, right? Now this level here, it's a very, very powerful level, okay, especially when it happens at the top. All right, I think that if you will go to NVIDIA, I mentioned this trade earlier. That means I mentioned this trade earlier, somewhere around here, where NVIDIA broke out. And I think that I mentioned that in Google as well. Let me just get that for you. Okay, here we go. So this, you see here, this is a major D final retracement weekly level. It happened somewhere at the top, right? So when it closed above, see, when it closed above, right? So this is a signal, the buy signal. When it closed above, it shows a very, very strong move subsequently. That means that this is an indication of a very, very strong move. Okay, and in fact, that from 200 levels, right? Google just went straight up 250. Okay, so this happened in NVIDIA, I pointed out. This happened in Google. When it happened or before it happened, I pointed out. And let's go back into AMD. All right, you see that AMD bears similar pattern where the major final retracement weekly level is also near the top, and price broke through that already. That means price broke through this major D level. Okay, so we had the first signal that was here, and then after that, right, we have a close above this major D final retracement weekly level, which is very, very similar to the few trades that I pointed out. And AMD has this. Okay, now the question is that if you take a look at NVIDIA, so let me just jump a little bit to NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA had this, and the level was around here. Okay, if I will do a row, you can see already, but I mean, I don't have time today. But anyway, NVIDIA broke that level here, right? You can see that NVIDIA travel quite substantially. And how much NVIDIA travel? Okay, it has to do with this pattern, is how deep this particular cup is, or how deep this particular retracement is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure that for you, right? So if I take this high to this high, this low here, NVIDIA was down by about 43%, $65. But then since after that, it broken out, right? we are expecting probably potentially that Nvidia might be able to go in the same distance. Okay, all right. Then if you go into Google, okay, so this is what I mean, right? We have the alerts kept coming in every day because I trade different instruments. I will just go and check that later on. So for example, this one here, when it break out, this is where we measure the extent of this drop here, and then we sort of like pinpoint that to the point that it broke, right? So sort of we are able to measure this target for Google that's around this level here. So in a way, right, minimally I'm expecting when this type of signals happen, okay, this upbull above this level, at least we're gonna get like 80%, 70 to 80% of this retracement level of this correction. That means of this distance here. Okay, so if you take this theory to AMD, where AMD just broke out, then this is a huge move down. That means that this one here is a huge move down. Okay, we are talking about AMD going down 65%, 147. But if I were to assume that we might get at least a 70% out of this move, okay, so 147 times 0.7, 70%, we are talking about $100 move, right? $100 move from the breakout point, or at least I take it from here. All right, so that's about 210 here, right? 210 plus $100, we are talking about a move of how much? 210 plus $100. Anybody can tell me the number? I just want to check that you guys are still with me. So if I were to assume that this is 147, and I assume that it's a 70% movement of this, that's $100. $100, if I were to add it to the breakup point here, that's about 210, then I'm looking at a 310. 310 in terms of movement for AMD. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say, and this is the reason why I'm looking into Semicon. All right, because a lot of them make this like a deep type of a correction. We call this a base, and then some broke out. But you know that if there's a chance, we just have to wait. If there's a chance, we just have to wait for a correction to come in, and that's formed a little bit of a handle here. And these are the two key levels on the weekly chart. If it happens earlier, then we do have certain key levels, which Ted already identified the key level as this level here, okay, which is at about 221, okay, 221, right? And the trend bar is still showing that it is an uptrend. All right, okay. Any question here on AMD? Dennis wants to talk about Nvidia. Nvidia is a little bit weaker. All right. It's not my top choice right now. Doesn't mean that I'm not interested in Nvidia, but I'm just a little bit more interested in other semicon stocks. Okay. I can't answer whether we can get in for AMD. As I said in the disclaimer, I really cannot answer. I can only say that if you are in my community, you will be able to receive a signal in the lower time frame. Okay, so that means that, for example, right, if there is a buy signal that happens inside here, right, there will be alerts. So for example, I will be very frank with you. So when I traded AMD, because I knew that there was a big, a base, right, that's forming. So I was waiting for it to come down and to create some signal. So I went in the H1 here, and that was the signal that happened. So I entered here, right, when it showed. And then after that, what happened? It just came down a little bit. I'm fine with it because I was very confident of that base that it built, right? And you see what happened after the signal, actually price gap up. So for me, re-entry I would have to wait for the signal to happen in the lower time frame. In other words, right, I'm also waiting. So if you are, to be frank, if you are interested, then do check out the signal, which is from tag, right, to see whether it happens, it shows or not. The earlier signals would comes from the H1. Okay. Okay, NVIDIA. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Now this is NVIDIA right now. Just to talk about NVIDIA, right? So we had a previous signal or earlier signal of NVIDIA here, this place here. Okay, all right. Why do I know? Because for us, right, we are only interested in buying in after price corrected. That means that, you know, this is an up move. Price, we assume that price will always correct, so we are only interested to buy around here, right? When it goes up, price will correct. We are only interested, you know, to buy after price has corrected. Okay, so this gives us maximum profit, and as well as, I mean, you feel a lot more safer. Okay, because you buy after it has corrected. So same thing for NVIDIA. It goes up, okay, and then we wait for price to correct, and that was our previous signal. Okay, so these are the previous signal. All right, so NVIDIA, we had the alert here, the signals here. Yes, it reached our TP. That means after the signal, it reached our TP here, and it sort of like moved back down. And there isn't any signal to enter. Okay, but I need you to take a look at this level here. So this is a resistance level. All right, so what does this resistance level mean? Okay, it means that price has broken out of our calculated resistance level. Just to say one thing, right? The lines that you see here, support and resistance level, they are not, I repeat, they are not historical levels. Okay, they are pre-calculated. That means that I am able to know at this point here that this would be the support level, or this would be the resistance level for NVIDIA. Okay, I will show it to you when I go Apple, right? When I say they are pre-calculated, they are not historical level. Okay, so what is happening to NVIDIA is that it broke out of this consolidation. All right, and that's where we have this bullish signal here, and price moved up to hit our profit target. So that's a TP here, and right now it is retracing, okay, to this resistance level. Okay, so this is a resistance level, and it starts to hover here. All right, so in a way, for NVIDIA, if you look at the trend, it is still uptrend. You see that? So the trend bar here is still showing the uptrend. If this is the low, then this would still be a higher low. Okay, a higher low versus the previous low. All right. It's just that it is not breaking higher. That means that it's just that out of this consolidation here, right? NVIDIA is not it's not showing strength yet. Yeah, I think this is the right word to say, right? It is at a support level based on the previous resistance level, but it is not showing strength yet, right? So it is the one of the slightly weaker player here, partly because you have to understand, right? NVIDIA moved very much ahead first, all right, then the other people are doing the catching up. Okay, other like AMD, you know, doing the catching up, and other semicon play are coming into play. Okay, so what it needs to do is that if it needs to, number one, stay above this level here. Now, number two, right, if it doesn't, then it needs to at least, stay above this level here, which is the final last level for NVIDIA. If it doesn't, it's not a very good sign for NVIDIA. So that's about 160. Okay. I thought that Intel would be something interesting because Intel was being asked previously. That means that someone asked me previously on Intel. All right. And I think that when you asked me this question on Intel, it was somewhere around here. That was my previous 2 session. Okay. Now, Intel, right? When the question was being posed to me earlier, let me just do a little bit of a rollback, right, of what happened to Intel. Okay. Wait. I definitely didn't want Tesla. I want Intel. I just show it to you what happened at that point of time. Okay. So when I was being asked on Intel, it was here. Okay. All right. It was here, right? Now, we just had a bullish signal on Intel. Okay. Partly because if you want to see the whole picture, right, Intel broke out of this whole consolidation. Okay. Now, one of the ways that I teach my community or share with them, right, on how to predict profit target is to measure the depth of this consolidation and then put it up higher, and you sort of actually can get the profit target. Okay, so somewhere around here. But if you want it to be a little bit more conservative, then you can actually do like 70% or 80% of that movement, and you do get quite a very nice conservative target out of this breakout here. Okay. Now, so this one aside here, let me just mark it. So at that point of time, so my answer was that, Intel had a bullish signal and it was into a whole zone of a support level here. So this was that support level that's being measured. That means that if it goes up, what we are interested in is for it to come down to this support level, and that becomes a place for us to buy. Okay, so you see it hit nicely that support level. You see that? So all these are all predictive levels, because that these are not historical levels. These levels are being predicted based on our system. Okay, and of course that it started to move up. Okay, hit that, the blue line that I predicted, right? You see the blue line that I've drawn in here. Okay, all right. So it's consolidating. It's consolidating, but it's still being supported by this level here. Okay, so this is the support level. Okay, so this is a very critical level that Intel must not break. Now, let's say if it breaks down, does it mean that the uptrend of Intel is not no more already? No, it doesn't. It just means that this is an accelerated up move. Okay, but by closing below this level here, the movement will become a little bit not that accelerated. Okay, that means that people are very, very enthusiastic about Intel. So when it just come down a little bit, they want to buy. Okay, so for example, right, so this one just come down a little bit for 3 days, and quickly when you hit the support level, they bought in and you went up. Okay, so same thing, right? This one came down a little bit and then it hit the support level and it went up. Now this time round, this blue line here that I've drawn in, right, is the profit target of the base. Okay, and that's why I think that you need to learn from me, because rather than you guess how to do it, I will teach you the method and then you can use it. Okay, so it hit that profit target already. So whoever who bought Intel here on the breakout, we have already achieved double. Okay, that means 100% gain, right, of their trades. Okay, so that's why in this blue line here, it hover. So in order to show strength, it must not close below this one. Otherwise, right, it will do a deeper retracement, probably into this zone here. So that is the currently being predicted. But as price moved, the system will predict more levels. Okay, so we have to really wait for it to move, and then the system will do a calculation, and then it will predict more levels, right? But at this moment, I can only say that, the blue line, it's near the blue line. We just have to wait for it to consolidate a while, let the buy signal comes in if it is going to go up. And this is where we are waiting for. Okay, I know that earnings is coming, but you know, it's hard to answer because it hasn't broken this support level, but it is also near to the target level. Okay, so that was the bullish signal that generate this move in Intel. Okay, I know that Tesla is a little bit difficult to talk about because it has earnings, but in the afternoon I actually talk about Tesla. If you want, then we can look at that. But I just want to show you, right, the levels are predictive. Okay, that means that the levels that we have, right, are not historical levels. So this is Apple here, and I do want to show Apple partly because if you take a look at the weekly chart of Apple, all right. So again, that we had the weekly signal in Apple here, but Apple has already broken out of this all-time high. So Apple is at all-time high here, so it's broken out already. Okay. But I just want to share with you because I had a trade in Apple. I did the trade in Apple when I was in Hokkaido. I just thought that it's a very, very nice trade that all of you should know. All right. So as I said, right, the price levels are predictive. That means that I'm rolling back and I'm replaying Apple, right? So these are the predicted levels of Apple, meaning that when price was here, okay, our system predict that if Apple is to drop, it will go into this region here. Okay, and then these are predicted as a support level. So in other words, right, the trend bar is showing Apple to be still an uptrend. It's still green, right? As long as it comes down, it gets supported here, then this uptrend will continue. Okay, so this is how it goes. All right. Now at the point of time, Apple is near to the high. Okay, is near to the high, right? So this support zone here is almost like a make or break. That means that if it comes down, it gets supported, the whole uptrend, this uptrend here, right, will continue. But if it doesn't, it means that it's going to go down and then this resistance is going to stay true. All right. Now, so what happened is that because we already have the earlier insight on this support zone, I just have to wait for price. Okay, so even on that day, right, when Trump talk about things, talk about China, you see how wonderful, right, that the support level predicted our system TED, right, predicted the price of Apple. Okay, so the prediction was around 243.84 and 244.51, right? The lowest price that was done was 244. So we had 244.51, 243.84. It just got it very nicely. So what I did was that I want to ensure that it gets supported in this region. So I just let it go up a little bit like this, let it go up a little bit, right? And then I enter in Apple when there's a support region, and then Apple actually, you know, moved much higher. Okay, so this is the current state of Apple right now. So in other words, TED is predicting a resistance level of 277. Please give it a little bit of a buffer, okay? All right. And then if it should come down, this is the new support level. So the whole support zone has actually been shifted higher, okay? I can only say that Apple has a resistance level of here, and this level is all-time high. And when you shift it up, right, to the day, my point is always, even if it's come down to this region here, and it seems to unbreak the all-time high, Apple is still being supported. Mathematically, Apple is still having a very, very strong uptrend. This is the level. Only when this level here, the lowest level, is broken, that means price breaks down, right? Then, I mean, I want to be concerned about Apple. Only if it's broken below. Okay. Can I just skip Tesla? Because, I mean, Tesla was something that I did just now in the afternoon already. And I actually show a Tesla 1 hour level. So this was our resistance level that we predicted. Okay, so this was predicted long ago, or rather, if I were to just roll back a little bit, right, just to show it to you here. Okay, so this was the level. That means that this 449.9 something, right, was already predicted as a resistance level because it's a red color, right? You see red color, and you just let it roll. You see it's very sticky here, and it's been sticking here, sticking, and it's actually moved down and sticking to this level. So it's at the resistance for Tesla. In other words, right, if Tesla today, or I mean, I don't know whether it's today or not, shows sign of breaking up, I think that it's going to be bullish for Tesla. If it doesn't, then we're going to watch out to see whether the sell signal comes in. Okay, that means you wait for the down arrow. In other words, you need to have TED to monitor that. But this, so far, this is a prediction here. Let me see whether I have time to go into gold. Okay, so gold is also part of the movement that I want to go. Let me just look at my what I need to go, right? Okay. So you guys hit the jackpot. I was about to talk about Apple. So that was Apple. So let me just talk about Apple. Sorry, I'm just jumping a little bit because I was jumped to Tesla. So I just wanted to mention Apple one last thing. Sorry. Apple here, right? I just want to mention Apple one last thing is that this pattern here, which I kept talking about. This is your base, like your cup, right? And we have Apple, which is forming a little bit of a handle here. Okay, so if Apple is to go up, and even if it's come back down to continue to form a support level around the predicted level, and hence it will form a little bit of an extended handle, it is totally fine. Okay, it is totally fine. All right, because see Apple as forming a big cup and a handle. Okay, so how many of you changing your iPhone to 17? I always like to ask this question. Okay, anyway, that's Apple, right? Okay, let's go inside gold. Okay, now, I have to say something. All right, yesterday when I was doing the session on gold, how many of you, and I mentioned very strongly, gold, we have to wait for 4002.27. That was our predicted level. Okay, and I said that in my session yesterday, gold should come down lower. So when I was doing a session, gold was around here, just to let you know. And then gold actually moved down here and then to 4002. And I said that gold should come down because of all the different, signs. All right, and the 4002 was predicted earlier, much earlier. I explained to you why. Okay, so you see, gold was here, and then it looks like breaking or not, right? But all these are all the predicted levels with 402 as the ultimate last level. So if it breaks 402, okay, I repeat this, if gold is to break 402, the uptrend is still intact. Okay, however, it just means that it probably going to exit its very energetic uptrend. So this is a very energetic uptrend, because from 3003 it just zoop went 4003. That's a $1,000 move, right? And it goes at that point of time seems to be invincible. That means that it seems to be going up, but it has to lose its energy one fine day. Okay, so this was the point. The recent correction was the point where people took profit, and it starts to lose its energy. But it cannot lose too much energy. That means that it must come down, and this is the lowest level, the ultimate level, right? Gold must stay true. Okay, gold must stay supported, right? In order for this energetic uptrend to continue. Okay, now if gold is to break below 4002, then the uptrend will still continue, but we are talking about an extended type of a correction. Okay, this extended type of correction, depending on how low it gets, it will still deem gold as being uptrend. But you might not get that very nice $1,000 type of a movement. It will not be that clean cut type of movement. It will not be that energetic movement. Okay, so this is the difference between TED and other method, because we are able to measure which level it must not break. Okay, it must not break 4002. That was a predicted level, and we were able to predict this level. And indeed, when gold plunged yesterday, the lowest that it went was 4004.76. We are very, very close to that prediction already. And in fact, that in the afternoon session, I was just sharing with them, right? We had the bullish signal here. There was the bullish signal, right, in the M15. We have that in the M30 as well. So that's the M30. We have the bullish signal. We have that also in the 5-minute here previously. All right, but I don't like to use a 5-minute, right? And that was the bullish signal that we were able to trade the counter trend of gold. Okay, now here we go. All right, now if you were to take a look at the day chart, gold 4002 level is still relevant. It is still not broken. Okay, so that's number one. Now number two, right? What is important in gold, right, is that it had never ever broken a lot of support level. Okay, so these are a cluster of support level here, and this time around, instead of stopping at the upper level, instead of stopping at the middle level, it stopped actually at the bottom level. So there are first level here, first zone, second zone, and then third zone. It didn't get supported on the 1, 2 zone, the first and the second zone, but it got supported on the third zone. Now this just means one thing. It means that if gold is to get supported here, and then if it's to rebound and it goes up, it will hit this region as a resistance. Okay, now if let's say this region is not a resistance, it continue to go up, it will hit this region as a resistance. That means that we are probably not going to get that very energetic movement of gold that we've seen in the past few weeks or months. Okay, so that is the implication here. All right, so we can probably only go to the lower time frame, like for example 1 hour or a 15 minutes, right, and to trade on the lower time frame. Okay, unless that gold has broken below 4002. Okay, so for example, right, only if it breaks below 4002, then things becomes very clear that it has broken out of this uptrend already, and people would be going short because they know that this is a clue to them. A major support level is broken. The clue is to go short on gold, or at least to continue to take more profit in gold. All right, so all lies in whether price can break higher. So that's why in the afternoon I said that gold, the resistance that you have to watch out for, because we don't really trade very much in the M15, just to let you know. A lot of time we trade very much in the H4 or the H1, so I tend to base the H1 levels and the H4 levels a little bit more stronger. So the whole idea is that in order for gold to be bullish, it must close above 4002. If it doesn't, then it will continue to come down. So let's say for example at this moment, right, even if it goes up, it hit this level, if we have a trigger, then we'll probably be looking at the TP into the 3,850 if ever the 4,000 is broken. Okay, so I can't comment much into gold. Yesterday I already said, before it hit the 4,000 level, I already said 4,000 level was the level that you need to look out for. Okay, and then we already had that signal in the M15 when it touches the 4,000 level, and then it moved up, and right now it's back into this one here. It all depends on whether there will be any rebounds from here. You just have to watch out if there should be any up arrow, like this kind of up arrow here. Okay, All right, now I thought that gold, it's also one of the things I want to mention. You see, gold was one of the things I want to mention. Anybody interested in DXY, dollar index? And lastly, I think, you know, I mentioned about IWM, which is Russell. I thought that maybe if you're interested in Amazon, because it's also earnings very soon. Meta has a signal recently. Okay, I know that, but I just didn't cover. Okay, so DXY is something where I also monitor. And yesterday I said that DXY is likely going to go higher. So on Tuesday, one of our trade was to long the yens, okay, which is the long dollar yen. So we have a very nice support level dollar yen here. And then when you go to the 1 hour chart, we had a very, very nice bullish signal here that I talk about. You guys still in the dollar yen trade or exited already? Because after this one, the predicted TP was around here and then it went slightly higher. Has been consolidating here. Okay. All right. So let's talk about DXY. I always would like to talk about DXY because it does affect a lot of the gold or FX trade. All right. So DXY was into a nice support level here. When you go to the H4, we have a bullish signal here, which is part of this uptrend. So that was a very, very nice bullish signal. Okay. And then the 1 hour, there was a very nice bullish signal here. So last ticket in dollar yen. Okay, that's very good. This is why I thought that our predicted level, right, of DXY is actually on 99.36. So it went up a little bit, okay, and then it got predicted. It got resisted and it came back down from bullish signal and then it goes up. So all in all, I think I mentioned already, right? It will be very interesting to know whether dollar index can continue to break higher. Okay, that means that whether dollar index, right, can continue to break this high here and to totally break above this level. When I say break above this level, all of you will know, right? It's like a solid break, not a little bit only, but more of an extended closed above this level here. But I also mentioned that there would be a resistance given by this one here. So take a look. I mean, do look out for DXY because DXY gives us the an overview, right, of whether the dollar will continue to strengthen, and it does give us an idea what the market is looking at. So sometimes they will just look at the dollar, right, and if the dollar continue to strengthen, right, then they will say, oh yeah, we are not going to have rate cuts anymore, or maybe the market, you know, is over optimistic about the rate cuts, etc., etc. So they do look at a certain price action from certain instruments and start their wayang, and it does affect the market. It does affect the stock market, but it does present an opportunity to us if we know how to trade that. So yesterday, because of dollar index and also dollar yen, we went straight directly into dollar yen. So I told them that, you know, dollar yen is something that I'm looking at. Anyway, there was a signal there. Okay, so do watch out. Even if you're not trading Forex, do watch out this level here. You know, the high point is about 99.57. So I just give it round it up a little bit, about 99.6, you know. Yeah, so I think that this would be very, very important level here for DXY. It does look like cup and handle, but then this cup and handle is actually at the bottom. You know, everywhere is cup and handle. It can be a resistance, you know, like that, and then don't it come back down also can. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's DXY. Which one would be interested? IWM, Russell, or Amazon? I think we do IWM now, huh? Okay. IWM is an ETF of the Russell 2000, but you can just trade directly into the Russell 2000. Okay, using how to say, the CFDs or anything. All right, but I think I mentioned these already, and it's really very interesting. All right, I mentioned these as an implication to my community yesterday, and the whole thing is that, you know, if you take a look at the Russell, I'm not sure whether you see this. It's at the resistance level here, like that. Okay, all right. I am at a weekly chart. I'm at a weekly chart. Now, in other words, right, if you take a look at the whole thing, right, Russell 2000, it's at the high. Okay, all-time high. And if it's going to break this point here, right, this level here, I use the word if it's going to break because it hasn't been a very clean cut thing. Okay, no clean cut, right? So, but anyway, none of the breakout is clean cut. But if you have TED, you can observe it. You can see it as long as it doesn't close below the support level. Okay, it doesn't close below the TED level. All right, so here it's almost where we have this massive 4 to 5 years pattern. So starting from here to here, we are talking about a 4-year pattern, right? So we have this cup, and then we have this handle. You want to call it this way, or you want to say that this is a double bottom. Whatever it's, then this is the key level here. Okay, now this key level, if we go to the day, all right, then what is happening? Okay, it's such that, remember, I told you, right, that these are all the predicted levels of TED. So TED predict all these levels. Now let me just explain this and just do a little bit of a rollback. Okay. Oh, okay. I shouldn't. I always forget. Let me just do a little bit of a rollback here. Okay. You see that TED, right, was able to predict 234.11 as the support level. Okay, that means that what it means, right, is that we have a very energetic uptrend. You see, uptrend, very energetic uptrend. It goes like dong, 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 uptrend, right? So it must not close below this level. And this is why TED is very important for anyone trading, especially if you are using it for options trading. It's perfect too to do your option strategies. Okay, I don't want to mention what kind of option strategies because I'm using it, and it's just perfect because as long as you have this predictive levels, it's just wonderful for you to do a lot of stuff. Okay, now, so when it's here, all right, as long as it doesn't close below, okay, you see, it doesn't close below. It has never ever been able to close below, right, this green level here. As long as it doesn't close below, then there is a very, very high chance we are going to see the break above. Okay, so do note Russell, because I mean, if you take a look at the Nasdaq, nothing, you know, is at the high, and then no renewed interest, and a lot of stocks at the high, right? But it's going to be a big news if Russell is confirmed breaking out. Then we are talking about a huge base breakout in the Russell 2000. Okay. Now, a lot of people ask me about implication, and this is something which I think we need to think about. So, will a breakout of the Russell suck money, all right, from the main board? That means that we are talking about S&P 500. We are talking about Nasdaq that already traveled quite far distance already. Okay, whereas this baby brother is just breaking out of the base. Okay, so will this draw money from the main board into the small caps? This is something that I think we need to think about, because if you look at market rotations, all right, then the small cap might be gaining some attention here. Okay, if this is going to be a successful breakout. All right. Okay, very good. Now, any other questions? I know that you want to take a look at Amazon, but I might not have time to look at it. And I've already covered Amazon in the afternoon already. If you would like to know more, then I welcome all of you to take my course. Okay, the first thing, let me just spend about 10 minutes to talk about my course, and then after that you can continue to ask me questions. The first thing that you can do is to take this free module here, which is under top loss, that I cover wash and rinse. It's a very useful method or phenomena that you can observe it. You can just scan this QR code and to take that free module. Okay, it's under here. Now, if you don't want to take the free module, if you are interested in what I've presented here in TED, right? Sorry, this one, I want to skip all this, okay? In TED, which is the new AI that I've designed, it comes with a screener function. That means that we are able to screen the stocks that has a certain signals, all right? And we can screen 1,000 stocks, all right, depending on your watch list. And then you will just send alert to us and we are able to pick that up. Okay, so and we are also able to inbuild all these signals, whether you are trading into gold or into FX or into BTC. So it's also for a short-term trading. So all of this will be done with TED, okay, which is the indicator that I've shown just now, okay, and which is what I'm using. Okay, so if you're interested to take our course does comes with cash refund and then loss cover, and very important, all right, the strength of our course as the hand holding. That means that we speak to our students 4 days a week, 7 sessions a week. Okay, so 4 days, 7 sessions. All right, so we talk about what we need to look out for. Like, for example, yesterday was my first session after my holiday in Hokkaido. So the first thing we talked about was dollar yen. And I also mentioned about Amazon, mentioned about gold. So this provides guidance to what my community will be looking at. Of course, they do have the indicators, which is TED, which they themselves can see the levels. Okay, so if you're interested to take the promotion, then this will be the promotion. It's on TED, right? The indicator that you saw is under Top Pro. Okay, the cost fee is 1,500. It is not expensive, all right? And it comes with the strategy, which is the TED strategy. It comes with complimentary 12 months, the hand holding, all right? It comes with a complimentary 15 months. Last round was 18 months. All right, this round, as I promised, it will start to reduce. So it only comes with a 15 months, okay? The usual is a 12 months. So the 12 plus 3, the 3 months is the extra months that we are promoting for this promotion in October. Okay, so if you take, for example, this course, right, let's say in December or next year, very likely there won't be any extra months. Okay, we are reducing all the promotion, and next year very likely the price will increase. Okay, so this is so far what I can say, because we are really offering a lot of things. So my students who took the course earlier have the free upgrade, all right, into the new indicator without paying extra. Okay, so if you want, do get the promotion, because this means that you have 15 months instead of 12 months of TED indicator. All right, it does comes with a cashback deal. All right, this cashback means that if you fund, make an account, fund your account, all right, you do get the $1,500 cash back, which is cashed into your trading account, and you do have a TradingView essential plan covered for you. That means that the broker will pay for your TradingView plan. So all in all, the total worth is $1,709 if you look at the whole package. That means that you pay $1,500 for the cost fee, and you do get back a total of approximately $1,700 from the broker if you meet the terms and conditions. So what are the terms and conditions, right? Remember, there are terms and conditions to meet to get the cashback. Number one, you must be either new or existing customers of ICAP by using our link. That means that you need to use this link here to apply. If you do not qualify, that means if you are existing customers of ICAP and you want to qualify for this promotion, you need to write to ICAP and to ask them for approval. Okay, that means that you need to seek approval first from them, right, to say that you qualify for this promotion. All right, if you don't if you don't use our link, or you don't qualify for the promotion, even if you meet 2, 3, and 4, right, you won't be counted. Okay. Now, so number two, you need to fund $7,000. This is your capital. You need to meet the volume requirement, which is 45 lots in 6 months. This is the volume requirement, meaning that you need to trade, all right, such that in 6 months, you meet 45 lots in FX or in gold sense. Okay, so a lot of people actually trade gold, and they can do that in 6 months. All right. Again, that I want to emphasize one thing. All right. What if you don't want to take the cash back? Can you still take the cost? Yes. This is just an extra deal for you. So this cashback is an extra deal. Okay. So some people will say, oh yeah, I cannot qualify for the cashback, so I like to have a refund for your cost. No, this is not possible. All right. So please take the cost in view that you can't get the cashback. And the cashback is that extra bonus to you. Okay. You don't need to open an account by 30th of October. You just have to open an account before 30th of November will do. And any questions, please ask your account manager, or you can just write to us. Okay. So this would be the deal that comes with that. So anyway, 18 months really no more already. 15 months is what we are offering right now. Next time, which is next month, likely we're going to go back just 12 months. Okay. And in Jan, when they come back, this one won't have already. It will be like that. All right. Okay. If you are interested, you can take the other offer, which is Top Plus, but it doesn't come with that. It's easier to meet the conditions. It's only 2 lots. Okay. 2 lots here. Where is it? 2 standard lots. All right. So this promotion is already, but we renew that. So you can also take this promotion, and you can just write to us on how you want to take that. Okay, so let me know whether you do have any questions. I'm just going to send this link over here. You need this to register for the account, and then you need this to open an account with ICAP. It has to follow the link, right? So if you still want to join the class and use the promo, if just want to join the class and don't use a promo, is that the question? You can join the class and you don't take the promo, can, because you get everything here. All right. Now, just to say that to get the extra 15 months, not the extra 15 months, just to say that you get the 12 plus 3 months, right, which is 15 months in total, you have to pay in PayNow internet banking. So this is the condition. So this promotion is only applicable if you use a PayNow or internet banking. If you don't want this, that means this one here, you just want to join this, the answer is yes. All right. It is not a requirement to take this one here, because this is almost like to give you a booster. Rather, I mean, since you are trading, all right, if you can happen to meet the 45 lots, why not get $1,500. It's like get a free iPhone, you know, something like that. Yeah, because a total due is 1,709 ma. So it's like getting a new iPhone. Okay, so if you can meet the requirement, why not? If you can't, don't stress yourself, because my costs aren't expensive. And you really do get a lot of good deals. For example, you get the screener, you get the scanner, you get a scanner, you get the alert, you get the hand holding, you get the strategy, all for 1,500. So that's why next year have to increase price already. I just show you the email alerts, because we are moving. We are doing the auto trading. So this was the bullish movement, but I just wanted to do this one here. Okay, so we have Singapore stocks also. These are the Singapore stocks today. So these are being sent today. 3 hours, Keppel, REITs, OUE, etc. I just want to talk about, for example, we had Disney yesterday, and then we have the day before. Which one was that? The one that gapped up and I missed it. I was like thinking I should just enter, and then I missed that. Let me just try to remember. INST. INTU. No. The one that gapped up today. I can't remember already. There was one stocks. Okay, anyway. The other one that I highlighted was CES. Yes. Yesterday, CSE. You see? CSE. So CSE also had a bullish signal. And then after that, today it went high to 7.8. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Is it Kevin, or because I don't remember this? Yeah, I never plant anybody. ISRG, is there ISRG? I don't think so. Oh yes, you're right. You're correct. So ISRG. So so it goes like that, right? Because our trade, right, it's more on up, and then we have to retrace, and we spot the retracement up, and then we trace, right? So it goes up, and then it start to retrace here. Anyway, it's a support level here, right? So I was just contemplating the day before whether to enter or not to enter, because there's a whole zone of an orange line, right? And then I saw the earnings. I say, I mean, I shouldn't enter because it was earnings. And you see, the pre-market, the trade was here. I should have just like, go on the limited loss trade. Yeah. So the trade was here. The entry was here. You see the bull here. All right. It was pointing here. So yesterday I was still contemplating, thinking here and there. And then what happened? It actually went up from 462 to 549. Yeah. So I hope that if there's anyone who benefited from this, that would be great. Is there a chat group after the course? Yes, we have Telegram. I would think that it's tough to understand from the course. I would think that if it's really a good one, right, I don't think it's easy to understand, because trading in itself, right, it's not easy to understand because there's so many factors in it. So that is the reason why I have a 1 year hand holding. And I think that the students are right now due for another session, 8:30 session, isn't it? With Pauline. Or today is cancelled already. or is it yesterday? Tomorrow I'll take over. I can't remember, but anyway, I'm seriously, I don't think that it's easy to understand. Okay, especially when you are talking about dealing with so many variables in the market. So that's why we have 1 year, not 1 month, not 1 week, but 1 year, not 3 months, but 1 year, which is 12 months of hand holding. I think that if after 12 months you still don't understand, then probably something, our course is not good, or probably maybe trading is not suitable for you. Yeah, or maybe this style of trading is not suitable for you. That is my very sincere answer. Okay, you get through. Okay, thank you very much. You get through. Yes. Any other questions? So I just hope that you can join me. I mean, because I'm proud of it. And also with the latest development, I think a lot of value are being packed inside it. Okay. So not saying, not in a way, I'm not threatening to say the price will go up and therefore you have to sign now. But it's really that the reduction in the promotion and increase in price has already been talked about since a long time already. So the students or community are getting ready because I've already started the course at the low end. Okay. And also to have this cashback deal, which pays the full amount to you if you meet the criteria. My promotion is until 30th of October. You have to pay before 30th of October. All right. But don't do it too late, because the later you do, the later that you learn. And also towards the end of the year, around December, it's a low period for us. It's like where the market's a little bit how to say, not moving that much, right? So we also don't have that many trades ongoing as well. Okay. Any of you have other questions? If not, then I will end the session here, because some of the students needs to go for polling sessions. And at the same time, next week, I would have another session on a Tuesday, which is again to update the markets, to talk about the market, to share what we are observing, to also, expose the rest of you to my course. So again, I'm sending in the link through. This one is to apply for the broker if you do want to get a cashback deal. If you don't want, then it's okay. Then this link here, let me just copy this one here, is to sign for the course. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. No other questions. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next Tuesday. All right. Bye-bye.